Hey guys, how's it going? It's Blocker here, and I'm with Antonio Viggiano, and he is here because he has some alpha for us. There's something coming, and we thought that it's good to record this video and have it presented for you guys. And I don't know, let's see. For those of you that don't know Antonio, maybe welcome first. And what if you tell us a bit of your history and of yourself?
Yeah, so hi everyone. Thanks for the opportunity, Bakro. And so just a quick intro about myself. I've been working in software development for the past 10 years, and I started working in crypto in 2017, but with Solidity in 2021, I had my own Web3 gaming company. But then last year, I decided to leave because I wanted something more kind of technically challenging. So that's when I landed in security. And I've been doing that full time since the beginning of this year. And more specifically with fuzz testing. So this all happened because a protocol invited me to improve their echidna tests. So I started studying. I reviewed a bunch of great resources from 12 Bits, read a bunch of blog posts, videos, and then I started to specialize on that. And I've been working with invariant testing with different clients throughout the year. So so that's why I had the idea of starting to post more about it and to share the knowledge, like while I'm learning it. And that's the whole thing about this new project. So I'll be
Yeah,
kind of
tell
launching.
us more about
Yeah,
it. Tell us more.
so the idea is that I'll be launching like a blog and a newsletter to talk about fuzz testing and related technologies. So it'll be called All Things Fuzzy. And the idea is that we'll post about fuzz testing, invariant testing, um, property-based testing, symbolic testing, and formal verification. So I think these strategies to help with security, they are very interconnected, and usually protocols, they don't know how to start, or maybe like it's too complex, or maybe they don't know why this is useful. So we wanted to talk more about that, and yeah kind of spread the word. And so that's the idea. We'll share the URL, the newsletter, the blog, so that you can learn more about that.
Yeah, and who's going to be involved? Is it going to be you publishing those articles, or is it going to look?
Yeah, so the idea is that I'll be kind of the editor of this newsletter and blog, and I'll invite security researchers and kind of experts to share what they know about the subject. And kind of sometimes I have some ideas of things that I would like to learn and to know more. So I'll try to invite people that can talk about those subjects in depth. And the idea is that this will be focused on this subject, but there will be different writers. And the first writer will be Blockarosh. He has a very good kind of introduction to fuzzing. So I think this will help protocols that are still like maybe unsure how to start, maybe they don't know how to work with it. And later we'll have like other types of contents as well.
Yeah, it's nice also to be involved because fuzzing is super well, not only interesting but useful. And as I mentioned, I've swear a few times before that I would get deep into that and I would try to learn as much as possible. But this is the perfect excuse to be to force myself to learn. And yeah, it's a good collaboration with you for sure. And I mean, I'm also like you've mentioned that is going to be fuzzing and formal verification and so on. But what kind of content? What is it going to be about? Because it's very general, right? Those terms we know, but how? Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea is that there will be different kind of levels of complexity so that everybody can get can gain out of it. So there will be introductory posts, maybe some more advanced stuff. Maybe we'll talk about some configuration parameters that you can adjust and can make the fuzzing step or run faster. I'm very also interested in benchmarks. So maybe trying different fuzzers, maybe comparing different fuzzers, maybe comparing different tools, especially comparing in terms of kind of performance, but also time that you need to implement these tools. So that kind of protocols can have like an informed decision of how to implement, what are the benefits, and maybe also some case studies. That's also like something that I have posted myself. One case study that we worked with Badger DAO on the EBTC project. So I think these are nice views of like real life applications of fuzzing. And so like there will be a bit of everything and different levels of complexity, so that both a beginner and an expert can enjoy the content.
Okay, nice. So yeah, so like is there like I'm wondering, so how often are you actually going to post? Because you chose a very well, not very specific, but you want to focus on something, right? Fuzzing in general and all these variants. So is there enough content, let's say, for this to keep it going for long, or is this something that you're going to be posting, or you have material for every day, which obviously it's not possible, but I'm wondering, maybe you can share how
Yeah.
often it's a plan
So
to share.
so the idea is that this will be like a weekly newsletter and weekly posts, but that doesn't mean that I will be posting every week. And the reason is exactly that it takes time to create kind of meaningful content. So that's why I wanted to invite other security researchers to post about different subjects. And I think like in terms of ideas of things that I wanted to explore, the list is never ending. So uh, there is always something you can try and it's a very iterative process. So you can get different results or different ways to work with fuzzing, for example. So I think there's a lot to talk about, but it takes time to create good content. And this is why I want to have kind of the help of other writers. And and kind of eventually, I want to also open the opportunity for other security researchers to kind of apply and maybe apply as a guest writer. But like I still need to like maybe we will try with people that
First things first, no?
we'll kind of kick it off and later we can maybe have like a place for guest writers and other people that are also interested in the subject and want to share what they've been doing, want to share a different strategy, a different kind of approach. So yeah.
Okay, and do you know if fuzzing is at the moment a commonly used approach by protocol? Like, are you aware, or have you? Because I'm sure you've been in contact with different. So, what can you tell us about it?
Yeah. So I think there's a big variability of like I don't know protocols using fuzzing. So I think the more mature they are, like in terms of security practices, the more likely they are to use fuzzing. But that doesn't like I think like the vast majority of protocols that are launching are still not using fuzzing, and they are probably using kind of fuzz tests from Foundry, and that's probably because Foundry made it super easy to start. You just you just pass like uh, um, uh, parameters to your function, and they will work out of the box. But even so, like some projects don't use it. So I think there's kind of like a ladders. Like some projects use fuzz tests, like these stateless fuzz tests, and like maybe fewer projects will climb up the ladder and start using variant tests. and yeah, maybe even fewer will start using formal verification. So I think there's still a lot that projects can do and protocols can do to help with security. And yeah, so like one of the goals of this newsletter is to like show them how to get, like, why they should do it, and how to start doing it. uh, and yeah, so that we can hopefully increase this number and increase the number of protocols that are implementing fuzzing. Yeah, so I think there are some projects are doing that, but there's still a lot more that we can do.
Yeah, I guess it needs more awareness, and also likewise, like are you aware of how much security researchers, like independent auditors or researchers, are utilizing fuzzing in their audits, or do you think
Yeah.
it's closer to most of them, or rather a few of them? Like I know that it might be like a feeling of, yeah, actually some are using it because I've heard or I've seen, but maybe those are the most, like the top auditors that we all know and that share all the knowledge. So what do you think? It's something
Yeah.
that it's mainly used or not yet?
Yeah, I think only like not many auditors are using fuzzing, and probably the reason is that it takes some time to implement fuzz testing, for example. And like obviously like Trail of Bits, they've been doing that for like years. I saw Garden Audits also doing fuzzing for some of their audits, and that's kind of great. Some independent security researchers are also working only with that. But I think like we should be able to uh, like implement this strategy more, like as the security, like as a whole, like the security community, because I think this can prevent certain types of errors and certain types of attacks. Um, and yeah, and many security researchers are asking me like how to start and like what are the best resources. So yeah, so I've been seeing a big increase in people looking for that, like both protocols and also security researchers. But I think we're in the beginning of the journey.
Yeah, in a way, it's like, well, we all try to keep learning, right? So there's probably a moment where most of the people that are here for a few months, yes, they have been auditing and so on, but they feel like they could do better, or at least, like for instance, that's how I feel. And you want more then, right? And wanting more is to actually being able to being able to improve your testing approach. And yeah, I mean, one of the common things that usually you see people asking is how to write the best POCs and so on, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so then how these posts that are going to be in the blog, how are they going to help others? Like what is how is going to change the change their life? No, but how is going to help people?
Yeah. So I think they will be targeted both towards security researchers and also towards protocol developers, because I think like if you are a security like aware developer, or if you are interested, or if you want to know about it, there's a lot you can do by yourself. Like you don't need to hire an auditor to start implementing invariant tests. So I think we can help with that. So there's a lot you can do by yourself, and you can like go a long way improving the security of your protocol if you learn kind of the right mindset, and if you start implementing since the beginning of the development process, kind of this shift left approach. You should start working in security earlier. So instead of developing the whole thing and then going for an audit, you can start implementing that since the beginning. So I think protocol developers will hopefully start shifting their mindset and starting thinking about security earlier. And also auditors, they will like we hope they will also learn new strategies. They will learn new like they learn from case studies from other security researchers, and they will kind of be better security researchers in the end. So they should be able to also like get better at finding bugs at the end of the day. So yeah, so that's the goal, kind of spreading the word, raising awareness, and also equipping people with the right tools and mindset to implement these tools on their work.
Yeah, and so yeah, to start finishing this, because you mentioned something interesting, and like I want to show to what people can reach, like giving you as an example. Like I know that you've been sharing that you started to work closely with a company or that is developing something new, and I think it's been even today or yesterday you shared how you're starting to add even comments while the developers are doing implementing the code, and so that it can be easier to after that adding the invariant test and so on, right? So why don't you tell us about the approach so people can see what you have got to after lots of time of fuzzing and a few years, and yeah, so that there is some motivation out there.
Yeah, so right now I've been working like as a kind of internal security researcher for a protocol, and their idea is to kind of implement or like start the development of their protocol since the beginning, implementing security practices. So I'm trying to help them with the properties descriptions and also with the implementation, so that we can make it easier to implement fuzz testing, so that it's not like a burden. So yeah, so that involves a lot of discussing with the protocol, like making sure that the white paper describes how the system should behave, and then also making sure that the functions that the function implementations, they are also making the correct state updates, or making the correct checks, making the correct verifications. So all of that, I think you can start very lightly, very easily, just by writing in kind of plain English what the function should do. And then at a second step, implementing the actual fuzz test would be much, much easier, because you don't need to think about your checks. You just implement the ones that you are taking notes along the way. So this is a new thing that I'm trying out right now. So like hopefully maybe eventually we'll have like automated generate, like AI generated invariant tests just based on your descriptions. Maybe like someday soon you can uh, do that automatically. But right now I think there's a way that like if you think about the properties, and if you have this fuzzing experience, you can also catch some bugs just while you are reviewing if your notes are correctly implemented by the protocol. So yeah, so I think like everything helps. If you are a security researcher and you know a bit about fuzzing, it will also help while you are auditing, like while you are doing a manual review. So I think everything helps, and that's something that maybe the readers will also learn a bit about.
I'm sure everyone will find this useful. So yeah, it was nice chat. It was nice to go through this new plan of yours, and yeah, I think soon it's going to be the first article, and then yeah, from then on, probably a weekly content, right? So yeah, thanks for the chat. Thanks for the alpha, and thanks for providing this blog so that most of us and most of people can keep learning and improving, because I think while we've had some content there, I think there's so much more needed. So yeah, okay. So
Nice.
yeah, Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks.